Now the Maryland-Israel Development Center is celebrating a major anniversary. Joining us is Barry Bogage, Executive Director of MIDC. Barry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
What does MIDC do?
So MIDC, the Maryland-Israel Development Center, we're a targeted trade development program to promote bilateral trade and investment between Maryland and Israel, which essentially means we're the matchmakers between Maryland and Israeli companies.
I just mentioned major anniversary. How major?
25 years. It's been 25-year anniversary for the organization and 25-year anniversary for me as executive director.
So you were there from day one.
Yes.
What's changed over that time?
Well, if you think back 25 years, it was the early 1990s, so the internet was just getting started. There was not much on the internet. And what was happening in Maryland was Governor Schaefer was in office then, and he was working to expand Maryland's international trade activities. And in Israel was really starting to take off as a high-tech community. They had just absorbed 1 million new immigrants from the former Soviet Union, a vast majority of whom were scientists and engineers. So they really took off as in high-tech, defense, homeland security, medical devices. So we were put together to form the matches and help these companies do business together.
So today, what does the business relationship look like?
Oh, it's very strong. We're very fortunate. Maryland and Israel have strengths in some of the same industries. Biotechnology, medical devices, and cybersecurity is particularly strong in Maryland and Israel. Israel, because they need cybersecurity. Maryland, because we have the National Security Agency and therefore all the spin-offs from that. Defense, homeland security, all other kinds of technologies. So those are coming on really strong and great partnerships are being formed. So
is your focus on the matchmaking aspect between Maryland companies, Israeli companies? We're trying to draw Israeli companies into doing more business here.
What we're very much interested in is attracting Israeli companies to open their U.S. offices in Maryland. That way they'll grow in the market here, they'll hire Maryland people as employees, they'll create jobs in the state of Maryland, and then as they're successful in the United States, they'll also grow back home in Israel. So it's that rising tide lifts all ships aspect of it that we're looking for in these partnerships.
You just had a ribbon cutting.
Yes, yeah, earlier today, we just had a ribbon cutting. There's a great Israeli company called ELTA, which makes radar. It's one of the largest radar manufacturers in the world, and they opened their North American headquarters in Maryland about 4 or 5 years ago. And the ribbon cutting today was a new facility that's 3 times larger than their former facility. So the governor came out and cut the ribbon with Senator Cardin, with the CEO, the Israeli CEO, the American CEOs. They're going to be growing to, there are 20-some employees when they moved in the fall, and now they're 40, and they're going to be 100 or more by the end of the year.
So I don't know if that company is a perfect example or test case for what you do, but maybe walk us through it. How did they come to be in Maryland in the first place? Well,
ELTA is a bit of a special situation for us because most of the companies, Israel's been given a nickname of the startup nation because of all these technological entrepreneurs that are creating new companies. So most of the companies we work with are these young startups that are entering the United States for the first time, and we're trying to get them to locate in Maryland. We have about 35 Israeli companies in the state right now. ELTA was a wonderful opportunity for us because it was a major corporation that through their own strategic changes decided to find a new U.S. headquarters location. And so we were able to find out about them and cultivate them and get them to locate in Maryland.
So what's your pitch when you're pitching an Israeli company, whether they're going to be new to the United States or whether they're thinking about relocating from some other U.S. Headquarters? What do you tell them?
Well, the pitch for Maryland is the quality of the workforce and access to the market, which is what companies want everywhere. They want to know that they can hire the people that they need, the trained people, the people that know the market. And in this area, specifically with the defense market, those are some unique skills. With the biotech market, those are some unique skills as well. And we've got them in spades here. So it's a great opportunity for companies to find the people they need. And then the customers are here too, whether it's the government itself or the contractors to the government in all different fields, whether they need cybersecurity or whether it's NIH and the healthcare facilities that need new medical device technology. So the market's here and the people that they need are here. So that's the pitch.
So you and Maryland have been at this for 25 years.
Right.
Do other states do it the same way? When a company in Israel is being pitched, is it Barry followed by 49 other people?
Well, no, not quite. Every state, of course, has its economic development agency. There are only about maybe 10 or 12 that have economic development outreach programs in Israel. So, and we are the longest. We've been around longer than any of the others, and so we've developed quite a network and a great pipeline of companies. So we're able to get to them early.
How does the funding for MIDC work?
We're set up as a nonprofit organization ourselves. We were set up originally by the Associated Jewish Community Federation of Baltimore. And at this point, and that's 25 years ago, we call ourselves a public-private partnership. So the Maryland Department of Commerce is involved, and the Israeli Commercial Attaché's office at the embassy is involved. Right now, our funding is a joint contributions from the state through the Department of Commerce, which gives us a grant that's about 50% of our funding, and the other 50% comes from the Jewish community and program fees from the different projects that we put on.
Israel has been facing a boycott movement on many campuses. Does that affect your work?
That hasn't affected our work. What I've seen and with the companies that we're talking to, people are interested in good technology, good markets, and they have not let the BDS movement get in the way. So business is still flourishing between America and Israel.
I read that you have a venture fund. That may have been old information. Is there some sort of venture fund connected with your work?
Yes. So we're a nonprofit. We spun off a for-profit organization to create a venture fund to invest in Israeli high-tech companies. Israel is second behind Silicon Valley for raising international venture capital money. So we figured it'd be a great opportunity for limited partners here in Maryland to have access to Israeli high-tech opportunities. So that's why we set that up.
With all the time you've spent looking at Startup Nation, what's the most exciting thing coming down the tracks right now?
Oh, it's every industry, every technology you can think of. Israel's got great companies. So Waze was a big one that Intel bought a couple years ago, the GPS system. Recently, driverless car technology has been really taking off in Israel. Intel just bought an Israeli company called Mobileye for $15 billion. Medical devices, it's the strongest place in the world for medical device patents and innovations.
Very good. Barry Bogage of the Maryland Israel Development Center. Barry, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.